The rain, a relentless drumbeat against the window pane, matched the rhythm of Sarah's racing thoughts. She sat on the edge of the bed, staring out into the darkness, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Damien, a shadow in the corner of her memory, his presence both comforting and unsettling. She remembered the day they first met, a chance encounter in a dimly lit coffee shop. His enigmatic aura had drew her in, his piercing gaze captivating her attention. Their conversation had been a whirlwind of words, a clash of intellects that ignited a spark between them. Their relationship had been a tempestuous one, a dance between passion and pain. Damien's secretive nature had always intrigued her, yet also had her feeling isolated and uncertain. His past, a shrouded mystery, had cast a long shadow over their relationship, creating a sense of unease and mistrust. Now, as she sat alone in the quiet of her apartment, the weight of her unresolved issues pressed down on her. The memory of Damien's cryptic reference to Twin Peaks lingered in her mind, a puzzle piece she couldn't quite fit into place. A knock at the door startled her from her reverie. She hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. Who could it be at this late hour? With a deep breath, she pulled herself together and answered the door. To her surprise, it was Damien, standing in the pouring rain, his clothes soaked through. He looked as if he'd been running, his face flushed and his eyes filled with a mix of determination and exhaustion. I couldn't stay away, he said, his voice barely audible over the roar of the rain. I had to see you. Sarah's heart raced as she took in the sight of him, his presence both comforting and unsettling. She hesitated for a moment, her mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. Then, without thinking, she stepped aside and just let him in. As Damien stepped into the apartment, Sarah closed the door behind him, the sound of the rain muffled by the thick glass. She led him to the living room, where a small fireplace crackled and cast a warm glow on the room. You're soaked, Sarah said, handing him a dry towel. Sit down, I'll make you some tea. Damon nodded gratefully and sat down on the couch, his eyes scanning the room. The apartment was small but cozy, filled with personal touches that reflected Sarah's unique style. It's been a long time, he said, breaking the silence. Too long. Sarah nodded, her heart aching with a mix of longing and regret. She had missed him more than she had realized. I've been thinking about you a lot, she admitted, her voice barely a whisper. Damien looked up, his eyes meeting hers. I have too, he said, his voice filled with emotion. The conversation flowed easily, as if they had never been apart. They talked about their lives, their hopes, their fears. Sarah shared stories of her work as a linguist, her passion for languages and cultures. Damien spoke of his travels, his experiences in the field, and the secrets he had learned along the way. As the hours passed, the tension between them began to ease. The weight of the past seemed to lighten, replaced by a sense of connection and understanding. When it was time for Damien to leave, Sarah walked him to the door. The rain had slowed to a drizzle. The world outside bathed in a soft, ethereal light. I'll be back, Damien promised, his voice firm. Soon. Sarah nodded, her heart filled with a mix of hope and, uncertainty. As she watched him disappear into the rain, she couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The future, once shrouded in a fog, was beginning to take shape. Days turned into weeks, and Sarah found herself eagerly awaiting Damien's return. His absence had left a void in her life, a reminder of the fragility of human connection. When he finally arrived, he was greeted with a mix of relief and trepidation. Damien had a story to tell, a tale of intrigue and danger that left Sarah breathless. Literally, he revealed his true identity as a covert agent working for a secret government agency. His missions had taken him all over the world, exposing him in the dark underbelly of humanity. Sarah was both fascinated and terrified by his revelations. She had always known that there was something mysterious about him, but she had never imagined the extent of his secrets. As Damien shared his experiences, Sarah found herself drawn into his world, captivated by the thrill of danger and the allure of the unknown. However, Damien's dangerous lifestyle also brought with it a constant sense of fear and uncertainty. Sarah worried about his safety, about the risks he was taking. She knew that his work was important, but she couldn't help feel a pang of jealousy at the excitement and adventure it offered. As their relationship deepened, Sarah found herself torn between her love for Damien and her fear for safety. She knew that he was a complex man, capable of great love and great danger alike, but she also knew that she couldn't live without him. One evening, as they sat by the fire, Damien took Sarah's hand in his. "I need to tell you something," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she waited for him to continue. "I'm in danger," Damien confessed. "There are people who want me dead." Sarah's eyes widened in shock. She had never imagined that Damien's work could put him in such danger. "Who?" she asked, her voice trembling. Damien hesitated, his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and determination. "I can't tell you," he said finally. It's too dangerous." Sarah felt a wave of panic wash over her. She couldn't bear the thought of losing Damien. "We have to leave," she said, her voice firm. "We have to get out of here." Damon nodded, his expression grim. "I know," he said, "but it's not going to be easy." Together, they began to make plans. They packed their belongings, arranged for a safe house, and prepared to disappear. As they left the city behind, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of both excitement and fear. Their lives were about to change forever.